Welcome to the Transitions Daily podcast. Transitions Daily is an online recovery group that offers a daily distribution of popular recovery resources accompanied by a secret Facebook group for discussion. We hope you enjoy today's readings.
This is Transitions Daily for March 4th, read by Kurt L. from Albuquerque, New Mexico, USA. AA thoughts for the day. Motives. Suppose we fall short of the chosen ideal and stumble. Does this mean we are going to get drunk? Some people tell us so, but this is only a half-truth. It depends on us and our motives. If we are sorry for what we have done and have the honest desire to let God take us to better things, we believe we will be forgiven and will have learned our lesson. If we are not sorry and our conduct continues to harm others, we are quite sure to drink. Alcoholics Anonymous, page 70. Acronyms. Trust. Try relying upon the steps. Just for today. Fear. From fear of fear. Many women who have reached the stage that I had reached in my drinking have lost husbands, children, homes, everything they hold dear. I have been very fortunate in many ways. The important thing I lost was my own self-respect. I could feel fear coming into my life. I couldn't face people. I couldn't look them straight in the eyes. Although I had always been a self-possessed, brazen person, I'd brazen anything out. I lied like a trooper to get out of many scrapes. But I felt the fear coming into my life, and I couldn't cope with it. I got so that I hid quite a bit of the time, wouldn't answer the phone, and stayed by myself as much as I could. I noticed that I was avoiding all my social friends, except for my bridge club. I couldn't keep up with many of my other friends, and I wouldn't go to anyone's house unless I knew they drank as heavily as I did. I never knew it was the first drink that did it. I thought I was losing my mind when I realized that I couldn't stop drinking. That frightened me terribly. Alcoholics Anonymous, page 291, 292. Daily Reflections. Weeding the Garden. The essence of all growth is a willingness to make a change for the better and then an unremitting willingness to shoulder whatever responsibility this entails. As Bill sees it, page 115. By the time I had reached step 3, I had been freed of my dependence on alcohol. But bitter experience has shown me that continuous sobriety requires continuous effort. Every now and then I pause to take a good look at my progress. More and more of my garden is weeded each time I look. But each time I also find new weeds sprouting where I thought I had made my final pass with the blade. As I head back to get the newly sprouted weed, it's easier when they are young. I take a moment to admire how lush the growing vegetables and flowers are, and my labors are rewarded. My sobriety grows and bears fruit. As Bill sees it, free of dependence. I ask myself, why can't the 12 steps work to release me from this unbearable depression? By the hour, I stared at the St. Francis prayer. It is better to comfort than to be comforted. Suddenly, I realized what the answer might be. My basic flaw had always been dependence on people or circumstances to supply me with prestige, security, and confidence. Failing to get these things according to my perfectionist dreams and specifications, I fought for them. And when defeat came, so did my depression. Reinforced by what grace I could find in prayer, I had to exert every ounce of will and action to cut off these faulty emotional dependencies upon people and upon circumstances. Then could I be free to love as Francis had loved. Grapevine, January 1958. Big Book quote. When we decide who is to hear our story, we waste no time. We have a written inventory and we are prepared for a long talk. We explain to our partner what we are about to do and why we have to do it. He should realize that we are engaged upon a life and death errand. Most people approached in this way will be glad to help. They will be honored by our confidence. Alcoholics Anonymous, Into Action, page 75. 24 hours a day. AA thought for the day. Having surrendered our lives to God and put our drink problem in His hands doesn't mean that we'll never be tempted to drink. So we must build up strength for the time when temptation will come. In this quiet time, we read and pray and get our minds in the right mood for the day. Starting the day right is a great help in keeping sober. As the days go by and we get used to the sober life, it gets easier and easier. We begin to develop a deep gratitude to God for saving us from that old life, and we begin to enjoy peace and serenity and quiet happiness. Am I trying to live the way God wants me to live? Meditation for the day. The elimination of selfishness is the key to happiness and can only be accomplished with God's help. We start out with the spark of the divine spirit, but a large amount of selfishness. As we grow and come in contact with other people, we can take one of the two paths. We can become more and more selfish and practically extinguish the divine spark within us, or we can become more unselfish and develop our spirituality until it becomes the most important thing in our lives. Prayer for the day. I pray that I may grow more and more unselfish, honest, pure, and loving. I pray that I may take the right path every day. Hazelden Foundation, P.O. Box 176, Center City, Minnesota, 55012. This is Kurt. I'm an alcoholic.
We hope you enjoyed today's readings. You can also receive Transitions Daily via email and discuss today's readings in our secret Facebook group. So for more information, go to dailyaaemails.com today.
Other than the 24 hours a day reading, unless otherwise specified, all quotes copyright Alcoholics Anonymous World Services, Inc., 1952 through 2001.